Well, it worked good for a while. Made pretty good bales. The knives cut. So this would be the this would be the cut side. So I guess it didn't cut here. These got cut. And this is the not cut side. And it's fairly even. It's a little more here, which it was before too. But it's close enough. They're pretty dense bales, pretty good. See, like this one, it pretty much cut the whole way. So I got, what have I got out here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, about 20 bales maybe. I had another field I was working on, and I had one row left, and a piece of sheet metal come off and got slammed in. This piece of sheet metal right here, I think it came off of right here, I guess. So it doesn't look like it particularly damaged anything besides itself, so to speak. See, it's right here. I'm not really sure for sure where it came from, 100%, but it does kind of look like something might be, well, I don't know. I'm not 100% sure where it came from, but it sure is in there now. I gotta start over, take these bales out. I have to pull these bales out, pull all this hay out, get back in there, but not tonight. Not for a while, probably. I've got a lot of other problems. I'll probably let it go for possibly as long as a month. So here's the piece that came off of the inside of the baler and was smashed by the knife. I cannot figure out where. Look at this. So here, I cannot really figure out where it was. This piece, it looks like it just tore like paper off of here. Is it here? I really can't figure it all together. That edge did not tear, I don't believe. Or that edge. And there's the method of attachment here should be visible. Probably that nut was missing, but I can't find it in there. I looked in there, I don't see it. It looks like possibly another method of attachment here. This looks like possibly where the knife grabbed it and ripped. Another method of attachment here, and maybe this might have been why the knife grabbed it. I matched this like this. Goes like this. As you could tell because of there's some slight polishing here, like the hay was hitting this. It goes like this. That just ripped. So I'm thinking this might have been well, I've got an idea where this was because it's where the knife comes back and forth like this, and but I haven't. I don't know. I even looked at on the YouTube at one that's, you know, isn't damaged, and couldn't see it for sure, but it's going to be tricky to fix this one. If this piece is real, it's possible this piece is not required for it to work. I don't know. I don't know, but it's going to be if this piece is required for it to work, it's going to be tricky to replace it. Very tricky. In fact, I just about need a junkyard. I just about need to go to a junkyard, take one off. In theory, you could, if you had a drawing, you could make one. Because it's mostly flat with holes in it, a shape. But you kind of need the drawing. Although you might could cut a piece of cardboard. If you could figure out where it's supposed to go. It's going to be tricky. This plate fell off my baler, and it got in the bale part, was making it into a bale. I think the knife sheared this right here, off of here. That's cut so clean, or it's torn so cleanly, I think it was sheared by the blade. It might have caught here first. I don't know in detail, but I looked online for that part. The new part's like $900, incredibly. And I thought, well, I'll flatten that one out and just cut it, just sheet metal. But then I looked around a little more, found one for $150 on eBay, which isn't here yet. But I've started to take apart the baler. And I used another guy's video, which I'll recommend. Maybe at this point I'll have a little snapshot. But then I thought, well, I'll go ahead and do my own too. His was not a 273, but his is pretty similar. And so I'm taking this plunger out, which I might not absolutely have to, but well, I'll get to that later. So you take these two bolts out, which really weren't very hard to get out, and then there's a long bolt right here, which you'll see in his video, and he wails on this thing. You can see there's some rust, but it came out fairly easily. And then he says he has to take this bearing out. And then he ends up taking out, I think, this here. But it's really not necessary. I think what he thought was, this goes in here, right there, and that bolt passes through it from underneath. And I think he thought that this wouldn't come out. But if you go down the row a little bit here, it'll wiggle out. So I'm gonna, and then another thing he does, he pushes this all the way forward before he takes all these bolts out. But I don't think I'm going to do that. I'm going to take this last bolt out here. This will drop. Well, I'll push it with my hand as much as I can forward. And then one thing he does, he takes a rope and ties it and pulls it out. Another thing, which we're going to see, he had to take out some pieces from here. And I think mine are already gone. See, I've noticed I have these holes, and there's one bolt there, and I think so. Apparently, there's supposed to be something here to slow the bale down, and one on this side, and mine are already gone. He had to take his out, and anyway, so we'll see. I don't know if I'll put those back in. It was making lopsided bales, but it was well, actually, it was doing pretty good. I thought it might push easier than this. Let's see how easy it is to push. It's funny that there it pushed. If I could get my foot in there, I probably could do better. I don't want to pinch myself. That was one thing he was worried about too. Now look, I bet I could get my foot in there now. Push it. Push it, push it. They made a song about that. Look at that. Now I hit something. Looks like I hit the one remaining bolt from, there was a piece here that's kind of slows the bale down or something. I don't know what it does, to be honest with you. Squeezes it. It's incredible how tight it's squeezed anyway. But anyway, so I got to take this bolt out here. Bolt here. See, there was a plate here. I might try and get that back. I don't know. I don't know if there was a plate here or not. But one thing I meant to say too, when you go to beat this bolt out, be sure you have the nut on it so you don't damage the threads. If you beat it without the nut, you'll mushroom the bolt. There is a remnant on this out on the other side too, but see how this bolt's kind of worn? That other bolt is worn so much I can't get a grip on it. I'm going to have to cut it. So there's that bolt there, and then there's one on the other side. Like I say, I have to cut this one too. Right. Now, where is that one now? I don't think it's that one. It's back farther. It's right there. Right there. Apparently there used to be a squeezer of some sort right there. I wonder if there's more squeezers here too, because there sure is 4 bolts there. And then here's another 2 that have a carriage. And the other side doesn't have those 2, but the other side has these 4. I'll bet there were squeezers there too. And then here's something here too. I wouldn't think there'd be any clear out there, but I don't know. This is not my favorite task. Those things sting. Sparks sting. And I'm not sure really what the best theory to cutting it is. I just do a different way. One thing is you want to get use a thin cutting edge, not a fat one. I always think the greatest miracle about this thing is that it ties a knot. And it occurs to me at this time, this has got to be held tight because the bale pushes. You know, the bale's going to push this and keep feeding. It's going to keep feeding right here. And then when it's time to tie the knot, that needle comes in and ties the knot, and then it's got to hold it again. So not exactly sure how it's grabbing it, but at this point I have to cut it. I have to cut it because I have to get that plunger out. And to rethread it really isn't a big deal. You just have to, you tie it underneath. You tie it underneath, and then when it comes through in threads, it grabs it, and then the next bale works. So where's my cutter? I was pulling on it, and that thing hit. So I put that block of wood in there. Now let's pull on it again, see if we can get it this time. Or see if it'll hit something else, one way or the other. Fuck. want to move. Damn. I've been using that pry bar to wiggle it a little bit. It's not stuck. See, I can move it like this. It's not stuck, but that string, I've had it come along. Yeah, that's not too bad. I don't want to push against this rod and bend it. Maybe it'll come out now. It's almost out. Come on, baby. The string stretches a lot. It's not really good string. I'll be on my ass. Oh, it won't go. It won't go with that string. It looks like it's caught on something over here. I wonder what this is. That's an odd thing. I don't know what the purpose of that would be. Well, this thing fought me every step of the way. It's heavy. I don't have my... Gee, that looks like that's a little bit bent. But these bearings are okay. Uh-oh, this one's shot. This one's okay, this one's okay. And these two here are okay. This one looks a little shot though. I don't really have an easy way to lift this either. Now this is the problem. The main reason so there's a shield that goes over here. Keeps the hay from getting in here and backtracking. So that looks, so anyway, there's a bolt here, and then this is a bolt, which I'm going to have to try and get that out, which is going to be easier said than done. Oh, there isn't supposed to be a wheel here, is there? And then it bolts on here with washers to hold it out, I believe. What's that for? Oh, that's the pivot. That's the pivot for this. And then there's a bearing here. That seems okay. So I don't know about just about this one here, maybe. I could probably put it back together like that. I gotta make 200 bales. I wonder what this is for. It still rolls. First problem is going to be to get that out. That's going to be difficult. That is bent. And if I took that bearing off, got this red hot, I could bend it back. Which I guess wouldn't be too hard. That one guy was talking about bearings that are really difficult to take out. But these don't look bad. It's incredible those bearings are still good. Feels like there's grease in there. It looks like an alternative to taking this out would be getting a stud and welding it in. I'd have to cut that old weld out, and I'd have to get that, which I'm not sure. Just a block. I wonder if this bolt will come out. Alright, this one is moving. I want to show you a trick though when you got a stuck bolt like this. You want to save it. So you go a little bit this way, then you go backwards. Screw it back in. Screw it out, screw it back in, keep going like that. It's hard to do it with one hand. Keep going like that, otherwise you'll twist it off like this one is. Alright, that one came out. I don't have a lot of hope that I'll get this one out, but I'm going to try. I think the first thing I have to do is flatten this out. Then I have to make a dimple, and I have to drill, see if I can get a extractor in there. Alternatively, I can also drill it out and re-tap it. Alright, I should be able to make a dimple with this or this. Make a dimple so the drill, when I go to drill, it starts in exactly the right place. Drills have a tendency to walk. Alright, so I got a dimple. Let's see if I can drill it out. I got this blue stuff to help it to lubricate. You want to go slow. Speeds and feeds. I have cobalt bits. This ain't one of them. It looks like it's shot already. No, I was wrong. Not shot. See that thread I made? What do you call it? I forget. Look at that one. I changed drill bits. And look at that one. It's a chip. It's a type of chip, I think. It's a miracle I'm getting it out. I wouldn't be so excited except I've had a problem with these extractors not working, actually breaking off, and which is another story which may make it to YouTube, but the machine isn't fixed yet because the extractor is broken up. But look at that, I'm getting this one out. I heated it up, but I heated the other one up too. Ouch! Still kind of hot. But anyway, it's out. It's basically out. The rosy sunset's one of the benefits of farm living. It's a pleasure for the eyes. I got that bearing off and I didn't have to heat it red high, just beat it with a hammer. And I wanted to say too, to get that bearing off, this thing here is very helpful. I've had air wrenches that couldn't do it. And plus you gotta get the compressor and gun. I'm out here in the field, so that's electric. One thing I noticed about this that's interesting, different, is offset. So it's a type of adjustment, whether you want it higher or lower. But this one here looks kind of low. I'll just match it to that one, I suppose. Another thing, this one's kind of dryish sounding. It's not loose, but it's dry sounding. But this one, all these other ones sound like there's grease in them, except that one down there, which I'll get to later. But I think I'll try and squeeze a little grease in there, although I doubt if I'll get much in. But if I do this, you can kind of hear it. I don't know what kind of bearing this is really. It's not necessarily looking sealed, or it's a steel seal. It's probably rollers, but it's kind of surprising. It's not new. This bearing here is kind of shot, although it probably could make 200 bales, which is all I need this season. Another thing, I noticed there's two places And I'm wondering if there's supposed to be two bearings. Doesn't really look like it. Might be just, you know, you could put it here depending on, you know, your balance or something. I was originally going to flatten out that piece of sheet metal and measure it. I never did attempt to flatten it out at all, but because I managed to find used piece for $150 on eBay. So here it is, very nicely packed. It looks to be fine, doesn't look to be anything wrong with it. I don't know what this, oh, that was a hole, there was a bolt there. I got another bolt to remove, maybe. It looks like it's got a couple little dings in it for some reason. But it's not as bent up as this one over here. That's for sure. So this installs more or less fine. There's a bolt here to bolt here, that's fine. This here, if you're going to install a bolt here, you're going to need a spacer there, which I don't know that you really desperately need that bolt anyway, if there was a bolt there. And the same really for this one. You could mash it down. You see it's hitting right here. If you want to really install a bolt there, you might need a spacer, just a couple washers. If anything, you'd want to have something over here, but there's nothing to attach to. There's something you could attach it here. That's thick metal right there. Put a bolt here. So the concept here is I cut off, where's the other one now? It's been a few days since I did this. There it is. Okay, so the concept is I cut off these bolts and the threads are ruined. But the idea is when I back off this nut, it'll clean up the threads on the way out. And that's how you do things. I don't even need this nut. So see, it's more or less doing it. And then if I absolutely have to, I can touch it with a really fine file. I might do it anyway, take that little edge off. But in theory, when you back it out like that, it should clean up the threads enough that it'll work. Let's just go try it. Well, let's see, one way you can try it is try and put this nut back on. Yeah. It goes on. So that's how that works. That's how you do it. So this is all ready to go back together. I think I'm going to get paint and paint this one on to try and make it so it won't come off. This one here, same thing. I went ahead and put this nut on. So this will hold position. But this nut here, there isn't enough. I actually got one of the, actually I'd like to have this so long, I'd like to have this long and double nut it. Maybe double nut it with a nut that won't come out. I might should go to Ace and try and get, but the trouble is if it has a shoulder, I can't put that nut on. So I'm not 100% sure. I'm not 100% sure. For sure if I can get one that's threaded all the way. Or if I put this on like this, and like I say, paint it. It's got the lock nut. I'd like to get this thing done. It looks like I could possibly. I could use washers here and pull it in a little more. That's just about really perfect though. But this end isn't perfect. I'd like to have a long nut, a long bolt. Maybe I'll try and go to Ace Hardware for that. See if I can get one that's threaded all the way. That's the trick. Actually, there's another trick. If I can find that bolt with the shoulder, I can just use washers. That bolt with the shoulder would be long enough. Where the heck is it? I went poking around in my extra bolts drawer and found this. I don't like the driver head of it, but it's the right size. I can even do my, so let's put it in. This bolt had some kind of pre-installed thread locker on it. And it was very difficult to screw it past that thread locker, but once you get past it, it goes pretty easy. So I'm going to put this one on, tighten it up, and then I'm going to put another one on which has the resistance to come off, whatever you call it. So that's double nutted on there, and I'd probably get my thing, cut this off. It might not have to, but probably should just go ahead and cut it off right about there. And then I'm thinking this is the one that released to start with, and then it caught here. So that can't come off anymore, I'm pretty sure. This I could replace without taking that off. These two here, I want to paint them on or something. So I'm not real thrilled with them. As far as being, got the lock washer, so that's good, but they're not very deep. And if these come off, I don't think it's likely to be as catastrophic, because this caught on the retract and just crumpled. This one, on the forward stroke, it's just going to hit hay, I think. But anyway, I don't want them coming off. So, another thing I was thinking too is to paint a line so you can see if they've turned. I could peek in here and see if they've turned. I need to feed the goats right now, I think. This project should take a half a day to take it apart and a half a day to put it back together, but I don't really absolutely need this machine for 3 more days. So I'm going to use this paint to paint those screws. It's pretty thick. It's pretty thick. I'm going to put it right on the threads and all around, because, and I'm going to try and make, oh, what do I do with that brush now? Doggone it. Here it is. Go ahead and paint those threads. This won't, and you might think, I hear people complain sometimes about and paint that part and paint the lock washer. I hear people complain sometimes about you can't get it unscrewed if it's got thread locker on it, but I never was big on that. Now it depends a little bit, but if it's a normal bolt, normal size, I don't believe it. The thing that keeps it from getting unscrewed is rust. It just practically gets welded. Alright, so that's tight. I don't think I hit bottom. I squeezed down on the... Now what I want to do is, I guess maybe I don't have to worry too much about that. I want to paint... I didn't really want to paint all the way. It's not going to work that well. I wanted to kind of make it so you could see that it hasn't turned. So I'm going, you know, level kind of, and carrying it on. That'll work pretty good, I guess. So you'll be able to see that it hasn't turned if it's lined up like this. That'll work all right. I'll be able to peek in here and see, because I can see this part from inside the baler right here. Right through there I can see it. Can't see it now very well, but alright, now I'm going to let that dry. Then I got to put this thing back together. I mowed a bunch of hay today, so in a couple of days it'll be ready. I'm anticipating that this will go back in fairly easily. Uh-oh. Looks like it's impinging a little bit right there. Maybe not very much. I guess it'll wear off. If it is. No, I think that's sharp enough, really. But anyway, I'm anticipating this will go back together pretty easily. I might bend this out just a little bit right there. Just like that, maybe. And the only thing of it is, I know I've got to put these hay dogs down before I got to fix those hay dogs so they don't, otherwise they'll stop it from going back. Other than that, I anticipate it going back pretty easily. But I guess we'll see when we get there. Look at all this, because before I bale, I picked up this whole trailer filled with buckthorn trees, and they have stickers on them. If you go to pick them up, you'll surely grab a sticker. Just there, and I didn't feel one. Some people might say these are bush honeysuckle, but there's a spider. Where's a sticker? Doggone it. But I don't think they are. I think they're buckthorn. And I guess what happens is they grow up. I cut them off, but then the roots are there, so they grow right back. I've been delaying using this thing. It's brand new because I didn't want to do the maintenance everybody says I need to do, change the oils. But I gotta have it to take some of the weight off of this as I go to install it. I hope it helps. This thing is not as heavy as a truck, but it's kind of heavy. You don't want to pinch your fingers, and then you got extra stuff in here like this piece is going to try to get caught on everything. I got a board keeping it, and then these But otherwise I'm inching it back little by little. And this here, then that gets caught. So now I need to use this to lift that up. Oh well, I'll get it some way. It's actually sliding pretty easy, but when it gets to the hay dogs, it's going to stop. And at some point, that one wheel has to engage because it's low. But I think maybe it doesn't engage until way back here. Has to go in the slot way back here, maybe. I don't know for sure though. Can't 100% tell. And I'm afraid if I get too far, see if I can see with my camera. If I get too far, I have to go back. Let's see. See, there's the wheel. It needs to get up into something. Somewhere. Can't quite make it out. You can see that wheel's just way low. I think maybe it's already where it needs to engage. But I might be able to pop it back in later. I'm not sure. Okay, there's the two wheels right there. And I would say it's right at the point where it needs to start. Well, see, there's nothing here for it to grab. So it's got to grab. Is this something here? It doesn't come that far, so it's behind there maybe that it has to grab. I still have to go in quite a bit. See, there's a track on the other side too. You can see I'm still a long ways from it. It's hung up on something and I can't tell what it is. It's right under the middle, I think. I still don't know what it was hung up on, but I was able to lift it up and over. Something down there in the middle, I believe. It's like a bolt sticking up or something. Part of this journey I can move it fairly easily. It slides steel on steel, but it's gonna hit those hay dogs. I'm about ready to. I gotta feed the goats before it gets dark. But I'm moving along. Made progress. I thought I'd stick a nail and then I was trying string, but I'm gonna try these sticks to hold the hay dogs back. That first stick wasn't really big enough. Let's try this one. Even that one could be bigger, but I'll try it and see if it might be enough. So I've got all 5 of these hay dogs propped up. I just did a story about the hay dogs. I don't know if I ever posted it. I was going to take them apart. They were all frozen shut. But I was able just to wiggle them, put WD-40 on it and wiggle them, get them loose. I took the pin out, but I can't get this pin out. I took the cotter key out, but that pin is frozen in there, but they move now, so that's all you need. I just pushed on this stick and that thing slid back so nice. I don't know if it'll do it again. Probably not. It needs to twist a little bit. I put it on this side. See if it'll go. Nope, it's stuck now. Pretty soon we got a couple inches. Alright, so it's okay that way, but it's got to go up. That one wheel's got to go higher. It's going to be kind of a good trick. If I use this board, there's two wheels on the other end here. It has to be engaged. And it needs to go up and over. Like that. Ooh, I think that's an IT hit. I just used that big 2x4, 2x3 board. Now if I could just pull that. Ooh, it slid on its own. Oh! Man, that's just about it. I'll show you at the other end now. I'm just about home. Just about home in time for supper. So now I gotta hook that bar this bar here has to hook up right here, and see those wheels are where they're supposed to be. It's pretty loose, but I guess that's it. I guess that's how it works. And there's a pin. I gotta put this big pin in, and that goes through here and operates the feeder. Oh, this thing is moving like a dream. Where's my bolts? Put a little grease on. Really not supposed to, but you can do what you want. But watch this. This thing, it's going to be a little tricky. I don't want it to go too far. Oh. Gee, it's just sliding. Can you see that? I don't know if you can see very much from down there. It's amazing these bearings are alive. They aren't, they need to be replaced, but they're still alive. The rest of it went together like a total piece of cake. One thing I noticed, this swiveled a little bit as I was tightening it, so I'm going to straighten that back out. I'm going to put away all my tools, and then I'm going to run this tomorrow. I'm going to engage it. My glasses is up there. I got to tape something too, but see what it does. Doing what it's supposed to do. I'll see if it can make hay. I gotta look at that. The thing's going back and forth. It's going slow now. Goes a lot faster than that when you're running. Let's see, I'm going to shut it off. It's not working. I guess my strings didn't go. Well, there's a string there. Here's a string here. I guess maybe it's all right. It's just gotta do its thing. Doesn't even have a knife. I guess it's all right. I just gotta keep going. The first time you make a bale, you have to. It has to start with tension, you know. Oh, it made a bale. It did make a bale. It's not very... Oh shit, I gotta tighten these things a little bit. These things aren't tight at all. It made a bale there, but there's not a bale here. I think it's just too loose. I gotta tighten these up. Tied a knot. I always think it's a miracle if it ties a knot. I wish it wouldn't cut it off so short, but I guess... See, this one didn't. This side. I thought I tied a string on this one, but it didn't hold. Didn't hold. This is really coarse hay, but there's more grass down lower. See this glob right here? I gotta be careful, it'll clog that machine. I gotta put it, I'm in first gear, I gotta put the clutch in. I put it too far, I gotta put it in just enough. I slow down. Put it halfway. Have it decent running. Drag it down. Looks like it's working. I made about 50 bales after I fixed the plunger on this thing, and this broke. When I first saw that, I thought, I'm dead. And my second thought was, I've seen this whole apparatus for sale. And my third thought was, I can actually get one of these for 75 bucks. But I think what happened, this jumped off. So this counts how big how long the bale is. So it jumps, when it hits here, this goes down, and then that can trigger and tie the knot. And then after it's done triggering, it kicks this over. Maybe, see, it can kind of go like that. It shouldn't be able to jump off. But it pushes it this way, which is kind of hard, and it goes to here and does another one. I think what happened was this jumped off somehow, because when I noticed it was, kept cycling, I noticed this arm going around, which is the one that does the needles. And I thought, I don't think that's supposed to go around every time. And see, it kept trying to tie more knots. There's about 15 times, and then this one broke, but this one kept going. You could see there's still more there, and there's none here, because this one was broke. But what I'm going to do is, I still got that hay in the field. I was thinking about seeing if that guy would make round bales for me. I don't know who he is, but I could probably find out. But I don't have a way to use round bales very easily. But I'm going to start anyway today and take this apart. The other thing I was thinking about was this can go out of time. Those fingers, and I was working on that plunger, and those fingers, they can't go out of time. But this is hooked up with a chain. And I think there's a clutch here, but somewhere or another, I don't know how that works, but that clutch cannot apply to this because this would go out of time. I'll have to figure that out better. And then it looks like this, when that triggers, it pushes this, or it allows this spring to pull this back, and it looks like this might be a blocking mechanism right here for the plunger, so that it doesn't hit these needles if it goes out of time. But boy, that seems like that would be a crazy situation. But at any rate, I don't want to do it, but I don't have too much choice.